Hey everybody, Dr. Callie Estes, the addiction coach, sober on demand, and of course, the Addictions Academy and Unpause Your Life, here again with another fabulous nugget for you. Quick heads up, I am going to start taking guests again. It's been a little bit of a hiatus dealing with my late husband's addiction and running around doing all the crazy stuff during COVID. So you will see some really cool, really powerful guests coming on again for the podcast, letting you know what they're doing. And I'm really looking forward to that. But today's topic is one I've seemed to be running into lately, is the difference between a handout and a hand up. And if you know this in the world of addiction, we call it enabling, right? Giving somebody too much of something where they never have to actually take accountability. So let's explore the two. A hand up is an offer of a job, an offer of assistance through blood, sweat, and tears, or exchange of goods and services, right? Currency. We all know currency or money to be that of exchange of goods and services, right? You want to buy something, you go to Home Depot, you hand them money, you take an item. That's an exchange of goods and services. In the barter world, you can exchange goods and services for something else. You might have someone clean your house and you give them a couple boxes of fresh eggs from your chickens, right? Bartering. So the difference between a handout and a hand up is an offer to allow someone to help in exchange for payment of a sort. Can be food, can be housing, can be shelter, can even be money, right? Help them get to the next level. Versus a handout is just giving them something. So I've got two little scenarios for you that I've run into lately in my life. And one is a young lady that had a job with the family company. She was doing great. Been with them for a few years. Well, they thought she was doing great until they learned that she was basically billing clients and not providing the cleaning services that she should have been providing. So when the family found this out, they have a nice large size cleaning company. They realized that the services weren't getting done. Clients were canceling, accounts were getting lost, people were getting billed for services they didn't have, and they were still paying this person. They're paying my client. We'll call her Jane. So Jane's collecting a paycheck, even though the company, mom and dad, are well aware she's not working. What happens is the other employees start to catch on. Jane's not working and getting paid. Their morale goes down. Their working ability goes down. Their motivation goes down because, right? Why? Because the daughter of mom and dad who own the company is still getting a paycheck. Then they give, Jane a car. They might give her a trip or two. They pay for childcare. They cover other expenses for Jane. The other employees start to become resentful because she's not working. Clients are canceling because she's not working. And mom and dad are covering for her. This is not a hand up. This is a handout. What happens now when the company closes its doors, which is what happened here? The cleaning company closed its doors. Mom and dad said, we can't do this anymore. They sold their list to a competitor and absorbed their client list, and they shut their doors. Well, Jane now is not on payroll. So Jane is freaking out. I have no money coming in. Jane is harassing the parents, calling, leaving threatening messages. Jane can't pay her car. Her car gets repossessed. Jane's whole life is in jeopardy now. If the parents would have taught Jane how to adult and given her a hand up, not a hand out, she wouldn't be in this position. It's even worse because one of Jane's siblings, who has a company, offered Jane a job and said, this is all you have to do. It's very simple. You go out, you pitch the customer, I'll go out and provide the service. So basically all Jane had to do was get dressed, get in her car, go to the customer's home, and pitch the service. An already existing customer for an upsell service, which was fairly easy. Would have taken Jane no more than an hour of her time, and she would have been able to pay her car payment for 3 months. But she chose not to do that. Because the money for mom and dad was so good, Jane sat on her butt, knitted, watched TV, ate bonbons, and went to the gym. Now Jane has no job and is completely falling apart because she can't get the money she needed from mom and dad. This leads to addiction. What is Jane doing? Jane is drinking. Now mom and dad are concerned Jane is going to drink herself to death because she's drinking. And she's mental health issues now. She has mental health issues from this scenario. So that's my first case I ran into this week. My second case that I ran into was a husband who was a little frustrated, or ex-husband that was a little frustrated with the scenario that he has found himself in. His wife is on disability, so she's collecting a paycheck. Well, if you understand disability, and everyone says, get your government money, get those bennies, that's not government money. It's paid by taxpayers like you and me. We pay for free money for other people. This can be in the form of food stamps, it can be in the form of health insurance, or cash money in this case. But because, and we'll call her Becky is behind in child support because she hasn't paid it in 17 years, 18 years. Becky's child support and her disability are intertwined. So that means because she hasn't paid the child support, her disability is being cut down and her arrears are being paid child support, which makes sense. That's how it works. None of that money's hers anyway. However, this is a handout. So what happens? Becky expects a handout from everybody. Becky expects people to pay her cell phone. She calls and complains that that the child support money that's her money now is being taken from her for other things instead of her children where it belongs. It's where it should be. But she's saying it's her money. It's technically not her money. It's government money, which is you and me, taxpayer money. So what happens? Becky's offered a job. Becky's offered a very easy job helping somebody walk their dogs a couple times a week. It's very simple. Right, she lives right around the corner. She can walk the dogs twice a day. And she is offered $45 per day to help dog walk. If you do the math, 45 times 30. Think about it. That's going to rival her Social Security disability money, and the person's offering to give her cash once a week. This would offset any costs that would come about with the child support payment being removed. It would help her pay her cell phone, her rent, her food, whatever she needs. She doesn't want to do it. She wants to complain that her ex-husband is stealing her money and she cannot live on that little bit of money that disability, the government, aka you and me, the taxpayers, give her. So what does she do? She asks her children for money and tells them that her bank account is being affected. Her, me, I, my. But it's still, again, not her money. It's you and me, the taxpayers' money, allowing this behavior to continue. That's an example of a handout. If someone gives her money, she will continue every month asking for that amount of money, if not more, with the same sob story, I don't have enough money, my money's being cut. Even though she was offered a dog walking job right around the corner, 2 or 3 houses over from her neighbor to offset that. That is called a hand out, not a hand up. Now, what happens if they take the hand up? The first case scenario, the job. Second case scenario, the job. They become self-sufficient. When they become self-sufficient, they say, wow, I can do this. I can pay my own way. I can pay for my car, my food, my health insurance. If I want to go to the movies, I can do that. All of these things can be done if you're willing to work and you're willing to put the time and energy and effort into yourself. Neither of these individuals is willing to do that. They are what we call the victim. That's a defense mechanism. When you play the victim role, people feel sorry for you. When people feel sorry for you, what do they want to do? They want to make you feel better. That's called enabling. So if we pay their bills, pay their car payment, pay their child support, pay their food bill, pay their light bill, buy them gifts, whatever it is they need, we become the enabler. What happens over time is that they never learn how to adult. And you have people that are 45 years old, 50 years old, 55 years old that cannot adult. I saw this with my late husband's family. There were 3 boys. One of the boys can't pay his own mortgage. He takes the money out of his mother's account every month. And he's 45. No, he's 50 now. So because he doesn't want to work or doesn't want to pay his own mortgage, he does that. He called his mom. She sent a car because he doesn't want his own car payment, or got repossessed because he can't figure out how to pay his car payment. And this is somebody with an almost PhD. So these are things that are handouts. My late husband's other brother brings his wife and child over for daycare, and his mother's 80-some years old. His mother does it. She cleans, she cooks, she provides for them. That's a handout. What's going to happen when she passes away? These children will not be able to adult as much as my late husband, same thing. He couldn't adult. If something went wrong, they fixed it. He didn't have the life skills to be able to adult. So in case scenario 1 and case scenario 2, we're seeing the same problem. If we enabler or we give a handout, people will never, ever be self-sufficient. And they will always complain that they are a victim of society, or they are a victim of circumstance, or they are a victim of their childhood. If you know my story, you know I come from a really shitty childhood. My father was very abusive mentally and verbally and physically. And I had two options. I could sit around and complain and say what a hard life I had. Look at me, woe is me, and not hold a job and drain my family's bank account. Or I could go out and say, I'm going to harness this and I'm going to do something with it. I'm going to show people that I can do this on my own. And I did. Put myself through a bachelor's, master's, and a PhD program all on my own. Every car I bought on my own. And I've had 7 companies all on my own with less than $300 in my bank account with no handout or handout. I've done everything on my own to prove I could do it. Now, not everybody has that will and that strength and that gumption, as we say, but keep in mind, if you have a child at home, no matter what age 15, age 20, age 30, age 45, age 55, and you are still giving them a handout, remember, when you pass away, they will not know how to get a hand up because they will not want to work or think they have to work. We call it entitlement. Pretty simple. I'm too entitled to work. I'm too awesome to work. Why would I want to walk the dogs for $45 a day when I can complain I'm the victim and someone will pay my cell phone bill? Why should I go to the job when I can just collect a paycheck because it's my family's money anyway? These are skewed thinking stories that put the client in the victim role and you in the enabler seat. So think about the next time you're about to give somebody money. Is this a handout or a hand up? And it should be a hand up, because if it's a handout, you're going to have a handful. And then when you pass away, you won't know what to do, and they won't know, well, you'll be gone. They won't know what to do without you, because you have become their ATM. You have become their sounding board. You have become their source of income. And you should not be their source of income. So think about that. No more handouts and only hand-ups. I hope you listen to the next knowledge nugget as I continue to get back on the podcasting circuit and enjoy my guests that are coming on. Have a great day, guys.